Good day. We know that divorce proceedings here in South Africa can, well, sometimes drag on and become quite costly.
They certainly can. It's often a lengthy and financially draining process for everyone involved.
Exactly. So today we're diving into two really key legal tools designed to offer some immediate help during these tough times. Rule 43 of the High Court.
And Rule 58 of the Magistrates Court. Yes,
These are crucial mechanisms, aren't they?
absolutely crucial. They provide ways to get temporary relief, create some stability, especially for a spouse who might be financially dependent while the main divorce case is ongoing.
So the whole point is stopping the legal process itself from causing immediate financial hardship.
Precisely. It's about preventing a crisis right at the outset.
Okay, so as we unpack these rules today, you'll really see how they act as a kind of shortcut, a faster route to essential support, while the bigger divorce issues are still being sorted out.
We're talking about interim support here, temporary measures.
Yes, things like financial support for a spouse, maybe child maintenance.
And importantly, contributions towards legal costs, too. That's often overlooked but vital.
Right. Let's start with why these temporary measures are even needed. Why can't everything just wait until the final divorce decree? It might take a while, but...
Well, that's just it. Divorce litigation can take a really long time. And during that period, the financial situation between the couple can become very, very uncertain.
Precarious, even.
Definitely. The spouse who earns less or maybe doesn't earn at all because they've been managing the home, they face a real risk of, well, serious financial difficulty.
The source material really emphasizes this vulnerability, this potential for instability. How do Rule 43 and 58 actually step in to prevent that sort of financial freefall for the person at risk?
Okay, let's take an example. Say one spouse has been the primary caregiver, looking after the children, running the household, perhaps without their own income.
Right. Completely dependent financially, maybe.
Exactly. When the separation happens and the shared finances are suddenly disrupted, even for a short time, where does that leave them? Rule 43 and 58 give that spouse a way to go to court quickly and ask for immediate financial help.
To just keep things afloat.
Yes, to maintain a reasonable standard of living for themselves and the children while the main divorce case proceeds. It ensures basic needs are met.
That makes perfect sense. So these rules create a framework for immediate financial help, and you also mentioned custodial relief earlier.
Yes, interim decisions about where the children live and contact arrangements can also be part of these applications, although today we're focusing more on the financial side.
Got it. So what specific financial claims can someone make under Rule 43 or 58?
Well, as we've said, interim maintenance for themselves, spousal support, also maintenance for any dependent children, which is obviously critical.
And what about other costs, day-to-day living?
Yes, the rules allow claims for essential living expenses. That could cover things like school fees, medical aid contributions, maybe rent or bond payments on the family home, other necessary household costs.
Okay. And you mentioned legal costs earlier. That seems quite significant.
It really is. Applicants can ask the court to order the other spouse to contribute towards their legal fees for the divorce itself.
That contribution towards legal costs, that feels particularly important for ensuring fairness, doesn't it?
Oh, absolutely. Think about it. If one spouse has all the financial resources and the other has none, how can the less wealthy spouse possibly afford proper legal representation?
They can't, realistically.
Right. So this provision helps level the playing field. It ensures both parties have the means to present their case properly. It upholds that constitutional right to access justice. It stops one party potentially just, outspending the other into giving up.
A crucial safeguard against inequality in the process itself.
Definitely. It prevents litigation purely by attrition, you could say.
Now, let's talk about protection. The source material mentions the risk of financial coercion, one party stopping essential payments suddenly. How do these rules protect against that?
This is a really key protective function. Imagine the main earner just decides unilaterally to stop paying the mortgage.
Or the medical aid or school fees.
Exactly. They just stop contributing to essential household costs. This puts the other spouse, especially if they're the primary caregiver, in an incredibly difficult, stressful position almost overnight.
A terrible situation.
Rule 23 and 58 provide a direct legal route to counter that. The affected spouse can apply to court to compel the other party to continue making those essential payments, at least on a temporary basis.
So it offers immediate recourse, a way to stop that kind of potentially damaging action in its tracks.
Precisely that. The application process itself is designed to be relatively quick and straightforward compared to the main divorce action.
And the court orders are enforceable immediately.
Yes, once an order is granted under Rule 43 or 58, it has immediate legal effect. This rapid response is vital to prevent further financial hardship and ensure the spouse and children aren't left without support while the divorce unfolds. It's a real legal shield.
Okay, let's get practical. How does someone actually start this process? What are the first steps for a Rule 43 or 58 application?
It usually starts with the applicant, or rather their attorney, serving what's called a notice of motion on the other party.
So formally telling them you're applying for this interim relief.
Yes. And along with that notice goes a founding affidavit. This is a sworn statement setting out all the details, the applicant's financial situation, their needs, the children's needs, why they require this interim support urgently.
Kind of like laying out their case for immediate help.
Exactly. It details their circumstances and justifies the relief they're asking for. Often, supporting documents like bank statements, pay slips, lists of expenses would be attached to back it up.
And how quickly does the other person, the respondent, have to reply? You mentioned it's an expedited process.
Generally, yes. The rules give the respondent a fairly short window to file their answering affidavit, outlining their side of the story and responding to the claims. This short time frame really highlights the court's focus on the urgency of providing interim relief.
Now, circumstances can change, obviously, during a potentially long divorce. What if an order is made, but then someone loses their job or a big new expense comes up? Can these interim orders be changed?
Yes, there's provision for that. Rule 43, subsection 6 specifically deals with variation.
Wait, Rule 43.6.
Correct. If there's a material change in the circumstances of either party after the initial interim order was granted, like the job loss you mentioned, or maybe unexpected medical costs arise, either party can apply back to the court to have the order varied.
So increased or decreased, perhaps.
Potentially, yes. It acknowledges that life doesn't stand still while the divorce is finalized. It allows the temporary arrangements to adapt to new realities, keeping things as fair as possible throughout the process. It adds necessary flexibility.
So summing up, it really seems Rule 43 and Rule 58 are more than just procedural rules. They are absolutely vital tools within South African divorce law.
Indispensable, I'd say, especially for those who find themselves financially vulnerable when a marriage breaks down.
They provide that critical bridge, that immediate financial support.
And, crucially, ensure access to legal representation, which helps level that playing field we talked about.
It really does underscore the importance of having these mechanisms.
Yeah.
They ensure both sides can actually participate fairly in the legal process, not just the person with deeper pockets. When you think about the stress of divorce anyway, facing financial ruin on top of it.
It's immense. These rules offer a crucial safety net. They uphold principles of justice and fairness during what is, for many, an incredibly difficult and emotionally charged time.
It really makes you appreciate how understanding these legal processes can empower people navigating such challenging life changes. And it certainly makes you think about how measures like Rule 43 and 58 contribute to a fairer legal system overall, ensuring immediate needs don't get lost in the longer legal battle. Thank you for shedding light on this.
My pleasure. It's a critical aspect of family law to understand.